What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including sad news involving a former WWE star. Zilla Fatu joined WWE's ID program. An AEW star goes off on Tony Khan. An update on Jacob Fatu charity controversy. A WWE Hall of Famer has been elected as president again, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. Now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at Jacob Fatu charity controversy update. At top of today's news is a major update concerning current WWE superstar Jacob Fatu and the allegations that he failed to repay a charitable organization. There were rumors that Fatu had yet to repay the charity after he was unable to compete at a charity wrestling event, but now Fightful Select reports that the matter has been taken care of. Last year, Jacob Fatu was outed as having cancelled a booking from a charity, Jake's Network of Hope, claiming that it cost the organization $2,633 and not repaying them. Fightful spoke to the sources familiar with the situation that claimed that Fatu had rectified the issue months ago. When we reached out to Jake's Network of Hope, they confirmed that he actually made a full repayment in June of 2024 that they had overlooked. Now, it's unknown what circumstances led to the delay in Fatu repaying the charity, but this is great news, and hopefully Fatu can put this behind him, especially since the WWE seems to be all in on pushing him as one of their top stars. Next up, an ex-AEW star goes off on Tony Khan. A former AEW star, Jake Hager, aka former WWE superstar Jack Swagger, is making his political beliefs known on social media, including some strong words against former boss AEW president Tony Khan. Now, according to Ringside News, Swagger tweeted, "Yes, I am support Trump. Yes, I'm against killing babies. I guess that makes me a racist." Now, the tweet was reportedly deleted, along with another one that said, "I love all the pro wrestling fans that think they're educated," which is ironic since he spelt there wrong. But those weren't the only tweets. Wrestling News' Andrew Ravens was reporting, Hager expressed his support for Donald Trump via Twitter on Election Day in 2024 in the United States. He wrote, "Everyone wants to talk shit about Trump, that Joe Biden administration removed America energy on day one. So who is the tyrant?" A fan tagged Khan in the post, leading to Hager responding to the person. He wrote, "Tony Khan is someone who threatened my job if I didn't stop promoting my Trump. He is a communist." As you might expect, the recent election has some people fired up, including supporters and opponents of Donald Trump. Hager replied to a fan who criticized him, claiming, "Do you want proof that Tony Khan is a communist and threatened me to be silent, or else?" The tweet was also taken down. What makes things worse is that Jake Hager has been dropped by sponsors and is no longer appearing for Blitzkrieg Pro. They tweeted, "Jake Hager will no longer be appearing on December 14th in Enfield, Connecticut. On top of sponsors no longer being willing to work with him, we also just have to do what we think is right for our roster and fans." What do you think of Swagger's comments? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, has Zilla Fatu joined WWE ID? Has indie wrestler and future Bloodline star Zilla Fatu become the first indie wrestler to receive the WWE ID status? In case you missed our earlier story, the WWE recently announced its WWE ID program, which aims to work with select wrestling schools and indie wrestlers with the stated purpose of improving the training process and identifying potential WWE signees. Our WrestleTalk reported earlier today the WWE ID account shared an upcoming event graphic for Reality of Wrestling on November 10th with an intriguing caption, "Someone's been ID'd. Be there this Sunday to find out who." And no one was mentioned, but fans' antennas popped up when Anoa'i family member Zilla Fatu tweeted an emoji of a pen and paper. Fatu's name has come up as a potential for a member of the Bloodline, but then he deleted the tweet. It's unclear whether his report was him jumping the gun, someone asking him to tweet the hype, the news, or some other reason. Considering how wrestlers and wrestling promotions like to utilize social media to advance storylines and news, nothing can be taken at face value. Next up, has an NXT faction been called up? As potential good news for NXT faction Meta-4, as Figure 4 Online's Brian Alvarez recently speculated all 4 members of the group have been called up to the main roster. The faction is made up of Noam Dar, Ora Mensah, and Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. Jackson and Legend have been active on the main roster for several weeks and recently wrestled at Crown Jewel's Fatal 4-Way for the Women's Tag Team Championship. That leads us to talk that Jackson and Legend were already promoted, albeit unofficially. Alvarez discussed the situation on the Wrestling Observer podcast about Crown Jewel. "I don't think they're NXT women anymore. I think they're officially main roster, although they're still making appearances in NXT. I think all of Meta-4 is called up. It's not official, but I know people who are there believe that all of Meta-4 have been called up, including Noam Dar, who hasn't even been on TV in like 6 months. Jackson and Legend have already caught fans' attention due to their talent and charisma, and while they have yet to win any title gold, some fans believe a run with the women's tag team titles is inevitable. Next up, sad news as a former WWE star is in bad health. And with sad news to report as former WWE star Dutch Mantel, best known to WWE fans for his work as manager Uncle Zebekiah in the 90s and as Zeb Coulter in the 2010s, is reportedly dealing with serious medical and money issues. Dutch Mantel set up a GoFundMe and it read, "Many of you are aware that Dutch has faced multiple medical emergencies over the last year. He's beat sepsis twice and nearly died both times. He's currently home recovering a month-long stay in the hospital this last go-around." The request for help also notes that Dutch's wife is dealing with many medical issues. His wife Kathy also has a very hard year. They've been married 51 years and have been barely able to see each other through all of this. She's been hospitalized 11 times since May, spending the majority of the time inpatient. She's lost 70 pounds and is very weak. A Dutch Mantel's career dates back to '72 when he competed as a wrestler in many territories. In addition, he also worked as a booker and helped guide the careers of future greats including Sting, The Ultimate Warrior, and The Undertaker. So far, the GoFundMe has reached $71,158 of its $100,000 goal as of right now. A link to the GoFundMe can be found in the description. Next up, Vince and Stephanie McMahon slapped with a $500 million lawsuit. Why are the WWE Vince McMahon and Stephanie McMahon facing a $500 million lawsuit? And let's look at what on the surface appears to be some bizarre allegations from one Leyland Owens, who recently filed a lawsuit against the WWE and Vince only for it to be dismissed. India Times is reporting Owens first filed a lawsuit in August this year, claiming that WWE had entered into a verbal agreement. Owens claimed that as part of the agreement, he gave ideas to WWE but was never compensated for them. In addition, a second suit was filed in September 2024, and according to PW Insider, the lawsuit also states that Owens believed Vince and Stephanie McMahon disguised themselves as an agent to try and get away with all my ideas. What ideas those may have allegedly been are never explained. The lawsuit also claims that after giving authorities tips on a criminal case, he told them he was a WWE fan and alleges that they put him in contact with Sasha Banks and Daniel Bryan using those names. While the WWE and several former executives, including Vince McMahon, Laurinaitis, and even Linda McMahon have been hit with some shocking allegations, these claims border on surreal. Leyland apparently is committed to seeing these things through as he filed a new lawsuit on 4th November. PW Insider details some key segments from Owens' petition. The new lawsuit repeats many of the previous allegations, including that Stephanie McMahon allegedly made comments about Owens' daughter, leading to a hush money payment being offered to him by WWE agents Daniel Bryan under that name and Mercedes Moné, the former Sasha Banks, using her current in-ring name in AEW and elsewhere. Johnson added in the handwritten complaints, Owens also claimed he provided Vince McMahon ideas. Owens claimed that the ideas included his own company, which was going to be titled PIE, an event called Stomping Grounds, and the idea My Cage Match, among other things. He's seeking $500 million in damages. Ringside News explained why the first case was dismissed. The latest lawsuit comes after a previous complaint was dismissed due to incomplete financial documentation. The WWE and Vince McMahon have faced multiple lawsuits recently, but something tells us this one won't get far. Next up, Wade Barrett talks an in-ring return. Is Wade Barrett getting ready for a return to the squared circle? The WWE star recently teased a possible match between him and Drew McIntyre, but Barrett shared some bad news with PW Mania. Let me be clear, if the opportunity arises, obviously it's something I would consider and think about, and I think I could deliver something here, but similarly, I'm absolutely thrilled with my role on commentary. It's not something I'm looking to step away from. I don't have some itch to scratch like a lot of the older guys have when they talk about comebacks. There's always a tiny chance, but don't hold your breath. Wade made it clear who he'll wrestle if the stars align right. Yeah, I think we all know the answer to that. Absolutely, it would be Drew McIntyre. He's someone I go way back with. I'm very close friends with the guy over the years. Would you guys like to see Wade Barrett return for one match? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, a WWE Hall of Famer elected to presidency. And last but not least, WWE Hall of Famer Donald J. Trump has become President-elect of the United States. President Trump, perhaps best known for his Battle of the Billionaires match against Vince McMahon at WrestleMania 23, was inducted into the WWE's Hall of Fame Celebrity Wing in 2013. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.